Incredibly, someone dug a firebreak as if leveling up in a game, lit the unruly trees, and used their own bodies as the last defense for the ancient tree, a true flesh and blood project manager. They watched wide-eyed, prepared for falling sparks. If bushes behind the firebreak ignited, they'd rush like in treasure hunt and clash. Two flames met, as if in a duel, fading to nothing. In the end, they created a stunning scene of ash coexisting with vitality. After completion, they snapped photos by the ancient tree, beaming as if they'd won Best Director, a perfect way to relax after success. However, on the way back, Brandon was ambushed by a snake and ended up in the hospital. He felt like he got a bad grade in the school bus, but insisted the nurse skip the painkillers because it might throw him back into. Eventually, with no drugs to help, he snoozed away for 3 days and nights like a character that just logged off. When he woke up, Mom handed him a newspaper as if saying, "Welcome back to the real world." The newspaper detailed their heroic act of protecting the ancient tree, mentioning its dangers. Mom hoped he'd find a safer job, as without her, her daughter's future would be as inconvenient as having no Wi-Fi. Brandon pondered, and that night went to chat with the captain about Mom's advice. He said since he didn't have a dad around growing up, he really didn't want his daughter to go through the no-dad plan. He thought that after fire season passed, he'd jump to the safer, more relaxed building fire department and pleaded with the captain to recommend him to Dwayne. The captain sounded as disappointed as finding hidden chocolate. "I gave you a chance, a rare one worldwide. Do you think the building fire department would hire someone as chaotic as you? Just wait, you'll be swimming in tomato sauce and scrubbing dishes. How long do you think you can stay off drugs?" The conversation felt like cracking ice, the atmosphere chilling instantly. The captain's wife just happened to catch it all and quizzed him on the way home. Isn't it normal for someone in the family to want to leave? The captain erupted in anger, scoffing, "He's different. A year ago, he was a junkie, and now he's the town hero." His wife shot back, "Listen, if you're worried about him backtracking, why not take him to a rehab support meeting? Aren't you angry because he's putting family above work?" The captain dismissed her. "I didn't say that. Maybe it's because he chose to avoid things. What's it to me? You know, I slept the whole day myself. How can I expect him to be a The captain pulled over to avoid distraction, with the two in a heated quarrel like a psychological battle. "Your life is all fiery passion, and mine's all been gobbled up by you, so not enough. Is this a decision, or just another recipe?" But the chance he gave Brandon to change wasn't just random. It was because he saw his own shadow in him. Though he had shaken off the shackles of loneliness, he was deeply trapped in the rush of firefighting and seemed to need a buddy to vent to. He told his old friend Wayne, "I saw a lively fire bear in the pine forest 20 years ago. It streaked by like lightning and disappeared. That was my most wonderful moment ever. Since then, I've anticipated every firefighting gig, dreaming of seeing the fire bear again and one day I'm hooked." Wayne stayed quiet, hoping he'd think about what truly mattered in life. Late at night, the captain carefully opened the door to his wife's room, and she had been waiting for him like a kid waits for Santa to return. In that moment, he finally understood what he couldn't live without. They shared a lovely evening inside, but it quickly turned into a fire date when an unexpected fire broke out. The captain comforted his wife, "Maybe he'll make it home for dinner tonight." But on his way to the fire, it became a mere maybe. By the time they got to the temporary fire command, they realized this fire was far more serious than they had anticipated. The mountain fire, sparked by lightning, was galloping like a runaway horse, racing straight into the neighborhood. Talk about fast and furious with flames. The Granite Mountain Fire Team's task: attack and build a southern defense line. The convoy was easy, like a warm-up. After practicing countless times, they seemed ready, with strategies for any fire situation. With the captain's command, they quickly launched into action, their expressions suddenly transforming into that of determined warriors. The captain called for permission to ignite the firebreak. Acknowledgement received, he led the warriors to their burning points and then pulled Brandon aside. "Sorry, what happened last night wasn't your fault, it was mine. I'd do anything for you, as long as you can still move." The lieutenant then issued the command to ignite. Once the firebreak was lit, they could clock off early. But then the firefighting plane swooped in with a soaking spell, completely ruining their efforts. The captain angrily questioned the air command, but all they got in response were vague misjudgment excuses. It was a frustrating must-keep-working moment. Since Brandon's leg wasn't healed, the lieutenant assigned him to check wind direction on a nearby ridge. The Blue River Fire Team's bus passed by, and he caught a ride, waving farewell. His vision blurred and was engulfed by yellow sand. At the cliff, he saw teammates busy holding hygrometers and thermometers like meteorologists. Soon, thick smoke billowed in the distance, strong winds swept it in, with flames spreading fast, and the fire burst right before Brendan's eyes. He wanted to quickly redirect the flames, but was beaten by the fire, with even his escape route blocked. Just when life and death were hanging in the balance, that construction truck cruised over. Turns out the driver had heard Brandon's SOS on the radio, so he rushed back to rescue him to safety. What a justice, buddy. At that moment, they savoured the calm before the firestorm, with breeze and sunshine bringing red comfort, when the captain got orders from command. As it turned out, the thick smoke delayed the firefighting planes, leading the flames straight into the neighbourhood. Now they were the only team left standing to protect the residents, the moment to dominate. Meanwhile, the team grew restless with inactivity and decided to cross the firebreak and rush to the ranch to fight the fire. Just then, an accident occurred. A tornado from the north carried flamed southwest. When the captain reached the hillside, the rocks were ablaze. Refuge in the fire zone was risky. It was too late to retreat. The lieutenant hurriedly gave orders, as if in a time management challenge. The captain urgently called for air support to cool down, and the crew, like expert chess players, tossed hills aside and ignited nearby bushes to form a safe zone. Unexpectedly, the firefighting plane missed its watering window due to poor visibility. Watching survival hopes pass by, the 20-year experienced captain couldn't stay calm, feeling restless. Meanwhile, Brandon in the safe zone covered his face in agony, as if seeing teammates team a tragic binge watch. As the flames swiftly closed in, the captain issued the final command. Everyone toss the gear, dive into fireproof bags. Neighbors in the middle, old-timers on the outside, and do your best. In life and death moments, all reality seems fragile, even the strongest souls tremble. Once the fire eased, the command center launched rescue operations, and a helicopter crew quickly found the wrapped bodies. As a result, upon getting closer, he was taken aback. 19 team members lay frozen like wooden dolls. Their lives turned to ashes along with the forest, and that life-saving fireproof bag ultimately became their safety shroud.